It started as a social experiment in the spring of 2009. Close to 1,300 artists from 41 states and 14 countries attended just in its first year. We're coming to you today from the Grand Rapids Public Museum in downtown Grand Rapids. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now is the Executive Director of ArtPrize, Christian Gaines. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So 2009 to 2013, a social experiment. How did it go?
It went very well this year. We had about 1,500 separate exhibits, about 2,200 artists represented. We had 450,000 people attend the event over the 19-day period this year.
So it has grown into a obviously highly successful, huge event. You touted as the world's largest art competition?
Yes, it is. It's the world's largest art competition by the size of the award. We give away $560,000 in cash, including a $200,000 public award, which is voted on by the public. They do that using their smartphones, and this year we had over 500,000 individual votes.
And if folks have never heard of it, have never attended, are now piqued and interested, it happens every year from the end of September through the beginning of October. You said it's a 19-day period. And what actually happens? What it occurs and what can folks come to see?
So artists come from all over the world. They set up their work within a 3-square-mile boundary of downtown Grand Rapids. So that's everything from formal art institutions like the Grand Rapids Art Museum or the Urban Institute for Contemporary Arts to more informal locations like public parks and bridges in the middle of the river and the sides of walls and hotel lobbies and bars and restaurants and laundromats and auto body shops and everything in between. 169 venues last year.
So obviously the focus is on the beauty and the arts and the artists, but economically, is it helpful to this region?
Oh yes, it brings in a lot of people, and for 19 days, the restaurants and the hotels are all full to overflowing, and we have visitors coming from really all over the world. Not just artists, but visitors too.
And then the art is appreciated, obviously, during that time period. What happens to the art afterwards?
Well, most of it, a lot of it actually ends up staying here in the community because a lot of it is permanent installations. So if you go around town, you'll see a lot of murals, for example, on the sides of buildings. So a lot of that is permanent, but much of the art after the 19 days, it's either ephemeral, so it either was only meant to be enjoyed during the 19 days of ArtPrize, or the artists will sell it, which happens quite often. About a quarter of the artists that participate in ArtPrize report benefiting financially from their participation in the event, and then a lot of it just goes away.
Do you see this type of an exhibit, or it's not really an exhibit, I guess an event, growing beyond Grand Rapids? Are there ever talks of, oh, we should do this somewhere else? We should celebrate artists everywhere?
Sure. You mean a la carte prize?
Yeah.
Yes, we've definitely talked about that. We want to make sure it's the right event, the right venue, the right location, the right time for it. One of the things that's really great about ArtPrize, and I think one of the things that we'd like to replicate the most in other communities, is the idea that it's really a great way to discover or rediscover your downtown. So it's as much about discovering the art as it is discovering the city that's around it. And for many people, as downtowns, certainly Grand Rapids is no different, but as they kind of grow and people get more engaged and more excited about what's going on downtown, ArtPrize is a great way for the community to become involved in their cities.
Get out and enjoy it. Thank you so much for enjoying this interview, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
For more information on today's topic, you can visit artprize.org. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Christian Gaines, the Executive Director of ArtPrize.